All right, here we go. And then hopefully I can edit too. But all right, you guys, here we are with Darren Lutgen. I'm sorry that I'm not able to post this via live, but I'm at home and it's really sketchy internet that I have in my house. I'm going to blame Steve on it, but I blame Steve for everything. So here we go. So welcome, Darren. Yay.
Hi.
Hi, Darren Lutgen, will introduce you after I give a little introduction here. Like Darren, we've known Darren for many, many years, and he has been our force as far as like being one of the best loan officers in the industry. And we really count on Darren for the customer service. Like when we have one of our all of our clients that we connect with, like we just trust Darren that he is going to see it through. And like during this time right now, like we have been connecting and making sure that all the transactions that we currently have with our clients, each and every one of them are being communicated. And so that's why I wanted to bring Darren on right now. So thank you, Darren, for being on.
Yeah, happy to.
So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, like how you got in the industry and like kind of like what's happening now in the market?
Yeah, I'm actually been in the industry, for quite some time, like 18 years, I think now, 17, 18 years. So I've seen a lot of ups and downs, even through like a lot of people are relating to the chaos of 2008. However, I think this is actually a very unique situation we're in right now, with the way the markets are reacting, the way everybody's businesses are having to shut down, everybody having to work from home, just a lot of different factors that are relating to everything that's going on. It's been a lot of chaos, but we're just doing our best that we could just do to keep everybody calm and answer all the questions that anybody would need, and just advising everybody to stay safe.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I mean, my kind of like background. I mean, I came from the service industry, and right now, like the service industry, like I feel like my people have been hit really, really hard, closing down salons, spas. A lot of my friends that are in the restaurant industry business, like they had to be shut down. And so I mean, that is a big deal. And what are some things that you can kind of give them as far as advice on protecting their credit right now, as far as, like if there was a client right now that was possibly wanting to purchase, let's say in August or September, like what should they be doing right now? Should they be contacting all of their liabilities, their creditors, just to like, how do we manage our credit like during this time right now?
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and I know that's on a lot of people's minds. What you'd said, best thing to do is contact your creditors and watch for. We're seeing, even lenders, mortgages reaching out to people, and credit cards telling people, or auto loans, hey, you can avoid payment for the next 60, even 90 days. We're seeing people do that, and that's great. And I think if you can take advantage of that, that's fine and do it. However, when you're saying protecting credit, you're going to want to be very clear and contact them that this is in no way going to report to the bureaus as not being paid for the next 30, 60, 90 days, because that will impact credit score like crazy. I was seeing that back in 2008, some people that went into some hard times and they had delayed a payment and made an arrangement with their mortgage company. However, when they found on the credit that they actually gave them a 30-day late, so it destroyed their credit too. So you really want to make sure you're in contact and understanding all the terms of skipping any payments. But if you can do it and it puts you in a financial cushion, absolutely take advantage of it. But once again, just really understand the terms.
So that is great advice, because I mean, I was affected. Steve and I were affected in 2008, and that's why I, sincerely went into the service industry, because the real estate market, basically crashed. And I mean, I had to be able to protect my family and help out and pick up the shovel. And so I went into the service industry, and I love it. I have, the utmost respect for all of my friends, and I call them my family, that have taught me so much. And so I wanted to really spread this message of just the information that you can give them like during this time. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do that. And guys too, like I'm gonna put a link down here for Darren's contact. So if you do have direct questions for him, if you guys are in the midst of like refinancing or something in the future, like connect with Darren, and he is our go-to guy. So I entrust him to, treat you very well. So as far as some transactions right now, like, are there some transactions right now that are happening in the industry that are canceling out? Like, is that happening right now?
There is, and I think everybody's on the same page. We've seen a few that, for instance, somebody that is in the service business actually with setting up banquets or just overall, putting together all the big banquets, putting together, wedding receptions, event planner, basically, they get a little uncertain what the income is going to be. And so they put their stuff on hold a little bit. So that is one thing too, is really understanding what your employer is going to be doing through this and understanding, okay, are we going to be able to move forward with this purchase? That's a really big thing and a good question. And talking to me as a loan officer, if we're working with your file, that's what we go through is understanding and getting letters from your employer, how you're going to handle it. So when it goes into underwriting, that question is answered as well. So we are seeing a little bit of fallout with some uncertainty. So it's just good to ask the questions and not go in blind on it.
Yeah. So what are some of the good things that are actually happening? I know that there's some transactions within our team that had some challenges, and we were able to see them through. Well, actually, we'll give it to Steve. He was able to see it through. So what are some of the good things happening? Because we have to highlight the good, Darren.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the good stuff is, it's a tough market with the low inventory out there. So some people that are out there and in a good position to buy, they might have a little less competition. So there's some opportunity, to get in there and go after it. And I say this to, your team and anybody that's in our industry, instead of just closing the doors and hunkering down and sitting doing nothing, we can, instead of adding to problems, we can find more solutions, do more virtual open houses. Maybe if you're doing the listing, put some extra, like some cleaning wipes or whatever the case is, or some special instructions for people come in the house. I mean, we don't have to completely shut down. We just got to maybe think out of the box. And I think we can still move forward with a lot of transactions and people can still buy a house.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I know when it comes to us personally, what we have been doing, we've been looking at our budget, and we have been cutting out some of the fat and some of the excess and luxury out of that. What do you suggest as far as, some of those luxuries that, would probably be like top category as far as cutting that out? I know we're all home and we want to, watch TV and just like be comfortable because we're so scared. And what do you suggest?
Yeah, putting out luxury items. I think if we're gonna be hanging around a little bit more at home, especially spending time with our families and everything, coming up with some maybe some projects you can do around the house to keep it positive, or start playing. Let's bring out the old board games, stuff like that, to keep ourselves entertained and keep our minds off. Because staying away from the TV probably isn't a bad idea, to not let this stuff just completely consume you. And I think you just gotta find the good things. And then you're right, watching your budget, making sure you're keeping things. I mean, it's you don't have to go to the store and overdo everything. I feel like the stores will be open for necessities. So just budget that out so you don't, spend $1,000 on groceries, and then you never know, what if we're back out and life is normal in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I think that that's something to think about as well.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I'm a big cook, and so I find it really fun. And I have an older home, and so I have an older fridge, and being able to store as much food as some of the people that are buying right now, like physically, I cannot do that in my home. And to have like fresh vegetables and fresh food, like I buy that on a weekly basis, so it's fresh. So just being aware that, yeah, you can live on, you know, a certain budget. You don't have to spend $1,000 this week and hunker it down, because, you know, logically that food's going to rot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so being able to decipher your money and having it go towards like different buckets of your budget is a smarter way to do it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, and you know, and look into, and like we talked about the creditor things, I know that with my wife and her the gym, you know, they're doing live streaming from the gym, you know, so they're giving them discounts on their membership, supplying that type of stuff. So there's things that we can do to try to even maintain our normal schedule as we're hanging around at home, and keep a positive outlook towards it.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I'm going to quickly upload this video so we can feature it and share it to everybody in our social family. I can't wait for everybody to meet you, Darren, because you are going to be so much help to all these people, especially in the service industry right now, that are taking a really big hit. So
yeah, I'm happy to answer anybody's questions.
Okay, awesome. All right. Thanks, Darren.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Okay, bye.